In March of 2013, my wife of 2 years sat me down, told me that she no longer loved me, and asked me to leave. In August of 2013, I was divorced. Those 5 months were, without hesitation, the worst of my entire life. And even though I know it was for the best, I don't wish a divorce on anyone. But yes, struggling with readjusting to life and just the idea that someone I had cared so much for either never did or no longer cared that much for me, it was quite a struggle. Let's just say it was good that I had already started finally getting treatment for my depression. Aside from the treatment, one of the things that got me through that terrible time was a certain movie called My Little Pony: Equestria Girls. The first big way it helped is that not only did it give me something to smile and laugh about when I desperately needed it, but it was just an amazing experience in general. My town was one of the towns that got the movie in theaters, and as you can imagine, a lot of My Little Pony fans arrived. Some had come from 3 states away because ours was the nearest theater to them that was playing the movie. I met a literal family of My Little Pony fans. There was a daughter who was in the target age, a teenage daughter, and 2 very awesome parents. The mom briefly talked about her favorite ponies with me and my roommate, and the teenage daughter corrected her on the names. It was great. At the end of the movie, a bunch of us gathered together and got our picture taken, and I am kicking myself for not paying closer attention to the name of the Facebook group so I could at least go see the picture. Later, I went down to Hot Topic to find out most of the theater audience had gone there ahead of me, and it was just awesome watching everyone else geeking out over the My Little Pony merchandise. Back when my Hot Topic carried My Little Pony merchandise. The second time Equestria Girls was a big help was when it came out on Blu-ray. I pretty much pre-ordered it as soon as I got home from the theater, and the day it arrived, I popped it into the Blu-ray player and started watching. During this, the ex-wife called, and we got into a fight. And while I am not playing blame on anyone or claiming I am blameless, I ended the phone call very angry and depressed. But I continued to watch the movie, and I felt better. I have explained to many people while discussing these movies that I cannot be objective in my ratings of them. As I will go into a bit later, while I understand that Rainbow Rocks is the better movie, the first Equestria Girls movie will always be my favorite of the 3, just because of when it came out and the experiences associated with it. And of course, a big part of this movie is the character of Sunset Shimmer. Now, you could make the argument about how she isn't very memorable in this movie. She's the villain of this movie, and many have made the argument that she's not a very good one. And I could argue that point, but that is not what this video is about. The point is, this movie would not be what it is without Sunset Shimmer. So even on that level, I am just grateful for her as a character, as a concept, as a way of making things happen. She serves her purpose well enough, and even if the other movies hadn't happened, I would probably love her just for that. Flash forward a year, and I admit when Rainbow Rocks was announced, I was confused and disappointed. One, I did not see the point of a sequel. The story had wrapped itself up nicely. And 2, the first trailers contained no clips of Sunset whatsoever. Now, again, bear in mind at this point, she was not the beloved character she is now, but my reasoning was, if you're going to end the first movie with the villain being redeemed, you need to make the sequel about her redemption, in at least some regard. And as I said, when the first trailers came out, Sunset was nowhere in sight. I was just flat out annoyed about that. The writer of the movie agreed with me. Fortunately, as I later learned, I can't remember if I read it in an interview or my roommate told me about it from the commentary track or whatever, but the main writer of Rainbow Rocks admitted that her first draft of the movie contained no sunset. But then she changed her mind, and I am so very grateful that she did. Sunset is the star of this movie. Well, to me she is. You could make a very compelling argument that she shares the spotlight with Princess Twilight. But it's because of Sunset that this movie works. We see right from her first appearance in it that she is trying to be better, that she is trying to make up for what she did. And she messes up along the way. And this just immediately endeared her to me. Whether I realized it or not at the time, that was me. This is me. Someone trying desperately to be a good person and hoping it works, and along the way, screwing up. Seeing friends make mistakes but being afraid to comment on them. Wondering if my advice is warranted or deserved. And the big moment came during the end credits. Now, I've told anyone who will listen, be it in a video, social media, or just conversation about these movies, that the song Shine Like Rainbows made me tear up while watching this movie in the theater. And yeah, that's technically true because it is a beautiful song, but at the time, I wasn't paying attention to the song itself, really. I was paying attention to the end credits and how they were showing the different characters, and when they had that, I think they said I read it was fan art that Hasbro commissioned or paid for the rights for, but we saw hand-drawn sketches of each of the human six, or human versions of the characters, and as soon as I saw sunsets, I started tearing up because she had found a place where she belongs. And again, this is something that I still feel like I need sometimes. Don't misunderstand. I have amazing friends, amazing family. I love the town I live in. I love my job. But due to the mental conditions that I have, namely this depression and social anxiety, I sometimes wonder if I truly belong in any of those places. So seeing that Sunset was in, that she had made it, it meant the world to me. It also doesn't hurt that, again, Rainbow Rocks had a wonderful theater experience for me. Not quite as memorable as the first movie, but there were other My Little Pony fans, and this time I was there with my girlfriend, the woman I started dating after the divorce. Granted, that didn't go as well either, but at the time it was just an amazing thing, and again, positive associations all around. And just in general, Rainbow Rocks rocks. Now I admit my memory of timeline and events is hazy, so this may have been between the first movie and Rainbow Rocks. But at some point, we of course got Sunset Short, or basically her music video. Her song that has been called Her Let It Go. My past is not today. And if I didn't love Sunset already, this would have instantly made me a fan. This song has become a mantra that I repeat to myself. I don't know if this is the depression or the social anxiety, but my biggest stopping block right now, the thing I am still struggling with today and will probably be struggling with for the rest of my life, is that I will get just randomly I will get flashes of a memory where I feel that I handled the situation wrong, said the wrong thing, acted in a way I shouldn't, basically was, in my opinion, stupid. And this can be anywhere from last week when, there were other mitigating factors, or when I was 5 and didn't know any better. And I will call myself an idiot. I will just be basically mean, be incredibly mean to myself. And while this is still going on, I am more aware of it, and I have slowly started to get into the habit of stopping myself. And, in the case of the 5-year-old, the memories of when I was 5, reminding myself, hey, I'm just a kid. Or in the case of, more recent memories, I just try to remind myself to handle situations better. I don't let my past define me because my past is not today. So again, Sunset Shimmer has been a big factor in my psychological development, my healing process. And then we get to the friendship games, which, again, I cannot be objective with these movies. It is both the weakest and the best of the three. Again, this video isn't meant to be talking about the movies or analyzing them as much, but whatever issues I had with this movie, Sunset Shimmer is not one of them. Again, she makes the movie. She is the star of this one. And yes, she realized the error of her ways. She tried to do better. She was accepted. But this is her learning that she doesn't need someone to tell her what to do, that it's okay for her to try to do stuff on her own. This completes her character arc for all intents and purposes. And again, it is so beautifully done. And then I made a connection. I remembered this scene.
Take my hand, Twilight. Let me show you there's another way. Just like someone once did for me.
So sorry. I didn't mean for any of this to happen.
I know. And going by my own experiences, they'll forgive you.
And as I was thinking about the fact that apparently today is Sunset Shimmer Day, and whether or not I wanted to do anything for that day, I realized that this is what I have been doing recently. I can't say this scene inspired me, I don't know. But let me put it this way. A few months ago, one of my very best friends sent me a text thanking me for a conversation we had about depression and seeking help for it. I am doing everything I can to let people know that there is still hope, there is still light, that as painful, as bleak, as hopeless life can be or feel sometimes, there is always another way. I am walking the footsteps of Sunset Shimmer, and I am more than okay with that. I am trying to show people that there is another way, like so many have done for me. And while I can't prove it one way or the other, I'm going to say Sunset Shimmer inspired that in me. So to everyone responsible for her genesis, to the writers, to the animation studio, and of course, the biggest thanks goes to her voice actor, Rebecca S. I know this is something of a cop-out, not actually saying her last name, but I cannot figure out how to pronounce it. I have not found any guides that make sense on how to pronounce it, and I'd rather not insult her by completely butchering it. So on the off chance, Miss Rebecca S., if you are watching this, thank you, and I'm sorry. Thank you for handling Sunset Shimmer the way you did. Thank you for making her so wonderful. And this is why I will always get defensive when someone tries to dismiss comic books or cartoons as kids stuff, as immature. When you have depression, when you have anxiety, you need light wherever you can find it. And if you get it from a cartoon movie about magical horses that go through a mirror and become magical people with funny skin and silly names, then you do not dare let anyone take that from you. Anyway, I hope you liked this. I hope it fits the theme of Sunset Shimmer Day. And I will see you guys around, hopefully. Remember, your past does not define you, because your past is not today.